All right, we're back for round number three. We are currently 1-1 with Affinity, so hopefully we can jump to 2-1 and we win the die roll. So let's see what we got here. Huh. This is an interesting hand. I don't know if this is a keep or not because we have two in souls and they really don't. We have a Mox Opal. We are one short of being able to do some stuff. This hand has a lot of potential. Man, this is really hard. I mean, we can ensoul our Signal Pest on turn 2, assuming that we draw another land. Or another cheap artifact. Man, this is tough. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this hand or not. It's really close actually. I'm gonna keep it. But this could very easily backfire on us, so hopefully it pans out. And I don't see a reason to cast this yet. We can just cast this next turn. We just need to draw a land or a 1-mana artifact, really. It's pretty much what we need to draw. Oh no, if we get Thoughtseize, that's definitely a reason to cast it. If we get Thoughtseize and they take a Mox Opal, I'll get Steamvent's good. Whew. And it's a tapped one, which is even better. Yeah, maybe we should probably cast the Mox Opal just for protection from Thoughtseize. So now I think I just make this a 5/5 actually. So make Ink Moth a creature, which makes Mox Opal active. And then soul this thing up. Against Steam Vents, it seems pretty likely that the Signal Pest will be able to stay alive, and this is a pretty fast clock. So this gives us bolt protection. Our opponents might be playing like Terminate, which would suck, but if they don't have a Terminate or something, like we're gonna hit them for a lot of damage with this. And next turn I can play a plating on it, which is +3 to put it at 8. 2-turn clock, so that's pretty sweet as well. Let's see what this is. Blue-red, maybe like a young Pyromancer? Yep. Okay, so we're playing against Delver, which is sweet. Let's see, draw another plating. Thoughtcast costs 3. So we could spend our turn Thoughtcasting, or we could just do plating. I like just putting a plating on this Signal Pest. This like just forces our opponent to have something or they're just dead next turn. Because this is just 2. This is 8 damage, put him down to 6. Putting our opponent that low in life is pretty convenient as well because that really puts them under pressure from their lands as well, because this deck does a lot of damage to itself. So this plating is also going to turn our Signal Pests or turn our Mox Opal on, so we can add mana with it. This is a really weird draw. Drawing that Inkmoth Nexus turn 1 made this hand work out, otherwise it was kind of a weird one that probably would have failed for us, but we did get there. As long as our opponent doesn't have a Kolaghan's Command or a Terminate, I like our odds. So we'll see what happens. We can also ensoul a Mox Opal at some point too. It sucks because it doesn't have flying, so it's not going to be good. Like, I kind of want to save this ensoul for, like, assuming our opponent does kill the Signal Pest, I kind of want to save this ensoul for something like a Ornithopter or another pest or something that flies, Vault Scourge or whatever, so that we. Alright, and we just ended up winning really fast like that. So that was pretty sweet. Now, what do we board in against Grixis Delver? I like Relic against them, and I like Whip Flare a lot. And Spell Skite might be fine, but I don't think I want Skite. I do want the Blasts. What do I not want? So I definitely want Etch Champion. This feels like a matchup where Memnite's really bad. This also feels like a matchup where Thoughtcast is bad, so let's cut the Thoughtcast. I'm cutting Memnite because it doesn't match up well against Young Pyromancer. I don't. Welding Jar's a consideration. I like Ensoul. I mean, we just saw how good Ensoul was. Making a creature of 5/5 is pretty sweet against a deck that has. I guess they have Cold against Command and Terminate, but yeah, maybe they. Jar actually seems good. It regenerates an artifact. I think I actually cut one of the Ensouls. Now that I think about it, I mean, even though it was great, they do actually have a lot of ways to kill artifacts. So, and a deck like this might have Shatterstorm too. I don't actually know what kind of artifact hate they play, but all right, we'll try this. I don't expect something like they might have like Electrickery. I don't expect something like Pyroclasm out of a deck playing Young Pyromancer. All right, this hand is great. Drum, Scourge, Opal, Seer. So we can play a turn one. This hand is great. We can actually play a turn one Steel Overseer. Let's see what our opponent does. Nothing. All right, so let's go for it here. Oh wait, we can't, can we? Never mind. All right, we can't play a turn one Steel Overseer. I'll just cast a Vault Scourge. Our opponent might Spell Snare this actually too, which would kind of suck for us. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to lead with Drum or Scourge. Probably Scourge. And then I'm going to cast the Mox Opal as well just to get it out in the battlefield. I don't know if this deck's going to play Thoughtseize or not, but... Yeah, so if this Vault Scourge was an Ornithopter, we could have played a turn 1 Steel Overseer, because we could have used the Springleaf Drum and tapped for mana along with the... or if this was a Darksteel, we still couldn't have played it, but... Anyway. If this was a Darksteel, we would have had Mox Opal, we could have cast Springleaf Drum as well. Next turn we can cast actually Etch Champion though, assuming none of this dies. We cast Springleaf Drum, which provides our third artifact for Opal, and then we tap Vault Scourge, Opal, and Glimmer Void to cast Etch Champion. Alright, our opponent put both cards on the bottom with Serum Visions. So this is probably a Bolt. Okay. Alright, Bolt. Bolt's a good one. Draw. Alright, Darksteel Citadel, that's pretty sweet. Alright, so we can cast Steel Overseer. This turns on our Opal to cast Springleaf Drum. But we can't actually use the drum to do anything yet. But having an Overseer in play, if he doesn't kill this, things get good. Because then we can cast Etch Champion and activate Blink Moth and activate Overseer then. Alright. 3 mana. Electrolyze maybe? Okay, Electrolyze. It's unfortunate. Alright, so... Cast Ornithopter. Let's play this Etch Champion. think we can actually activate our Nexus and just get him for one. And then next turn we can actually just jam plating and put it on this guy. So I like playing the Nexus, using the Nexus here, because if our opponent has something like Shatterstorm, we don't want to lose our plating as well. So let's go ahead and get in a free point of damage. Alright. And we may have to, this may be our ticket to winning this game if our opponent has a lot of removal. And they put a card on top with Vision, so something good, probably some way to destroy an artifact, I would assume. Probe. I get to see our plating. Probably bad news for them, but maybe a Taziger. I could see like a Taziger happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or like a Gurmag Angler here. Yep, this looks like Taziger. Yep. Okay. Well, we drew a drum. I don't think we can use. Let's go ahead and just see what we do here. So let's cast this. Let's go ahead and equip to Etch Champion. And then I could cast the drum, but I'd rather actually just activate Blink Moth. And I can just play this drum next turn. And now our opponent's in really bad shape here. Because the Such Champion is lethal, and if they have Shatterstorm, we can still, well, actually, we still have this to Kolaghan's Command, maybe? Maybe it's like 2 damage to this, destroy plating. That would actually be pretty nifty. Alright, we'll take a hit from Tazi. Outside of Shatterstorm, I don't really see a way that we lose this game. Okay, so he's just waiting on Kolaghan's Command to get our Nexus. Which I don't want that to happen, so I'm actually not even going to activate this Blink Moth Nexus. Because I think our opponent's going to Kolaghan's Command us, and I actually, well, I don't want to play the drum either, because I actually want them to try to make us discard a card rather than kill the Ornithopter. Because this drum just doesn't do anything. So, we'll just go ahead and attack with both of these. We can also move Cranial Plating at instant speed if our opponent doesn't have Kolaghan's Command here. So, yep, alright. 2 damage to target creature, destroy target artifacts. Alright, and there's nothing really we can do about that, so that's fine. And I'll just play the drum, even though it doesn't really do anything. And now our opponent has to have an answer to this or he's dead. And if he does have an answer, we do have a Nexus that can hopefully finish the job in 2 turns before Taziger kills us. Alright, Serum Visions. Basically with the Serum Visions, let's see, bottom and bottom. I'm trying to think what he could even draw to win against the Such Champion. Maybe like something to gain life. Also, he can't crack this Polluted Delta. Maybe just hoping I forget to attack. Okay, and that's just game. So Edge Champion showing its mettle against Grixis Delver. We are now 2-1, and hopefully we can win our last round and end up going 3-1 with the deck. But I think matchups like this are generally pretty good for Affinity. We have um, just a lot of cards that are really hard for them to deal with, especially Edge Champion being the main one. So hopefully you stick around for round number 4, and hopefully it's a good one.